everyone, welcome back to the Student Pages Spotlight series. I'm your host Izzy, and today we're joined by Max, the amazing lead vocalist from London band Rifle. Thanks so much for joining us today. How are you doing?
Very well. Thanks for having me. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I'm great. I'm excited for the interview.
Oh, me too. Me too. Looking forward to it.
Um, so you've recently released your new single, Worthless. How has that single developed your personality as artist, and what was that experience like recording that for you?
Oh, it was a fun experience. It was one of those where we recorded it in the studio and it was kind of missing something a little bit, and we thought, right, it needs something extra. So we asked our lovely mate Cal from the Chisel to do a little feature on it, which I think was like the cherry on the cake. But yeah, it was one of those. It found its feet very much in the studio, which is sort of not like most of the other stuff. I think we were pretty much there with a lot of the other stuff, but yeah, that one was a bit different.
Yeah, and I bet like has that really helped you because you've got a new album coming out in the new year. Has that helped you at all in navigating your way forward, moving forward for the new album?
A little bit, yeah. I think it had an amazing reception. We were very pleased with how it was received. Yeah, I think so. It was good to have Callum on it because he was like the Chisel and himself was so like lovely and supportive to us very early on in our career and when we first formed the band. So I think it was quite a sort of full circle moment to have him on it, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And so, well, so you've talked a lot about like working with other people and how they've supported you, but could you give us any background on how you got into the industry in the first place?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're still sort of trying to get into the industry a little bit. We're still sort of very new, I think. So, basically, I worked in a shop with Ross, our bass player, and we just worked at the shop where we were, bored out of our brains and like, kind of saying, oh, there must be something a bit better than this. And we sort of just got chatting about stuff, and then we started talking about punk music and had like a mutual interest in that. Actually, the thing is, we initially we were like, oh yeah, we'll start something like the Pet Shop Boys, and obviously that didn't work out. So, uh, yeah, we kind of got onto that on a sort of common ground, and then I was a bit like, why don't we just sort of book a practice room and we'll have a few drinks and see how it goes. And yeah, here we are. It's all still a little bit of a yeah, it's all still a bit surreal if I'm honest, because we still don't like we played like Reading and Leeds last year, and that was like blimey. We both, me and Ross, and well, everyone in the band we were going to that as like kids. It's quite a young person's festival, isn't it? So I
Yeah,
think that
definitely.
again was like bit of a moment to sort of be going back there and actually playing it this time. But
Yeah,
yeah, we just sort
definitely.
of, I think we just sort of did it through it sounds really like, bit of a boring answer, but sort of sheer perseverance. And whilst I think we were tapped into what other people were doing and appreciated it and liked it, we always had a very strong identity, I think, and an idea of what we wanted to do, which was why I think, hopefully, why we've done okay, I think.
Yeah. And so you said you had this idea of what you wanted to, the message that you wanted to convey. So to anyone that hasn't heard your music before, how would you describe it? And like what do you think makes that your music stand out?
I think it's sort of very class conscious punk music with a nostalgic feel of 77 punk. Wow, I've almost rehearsed that. That was not bad. I'm quite pleased with
Yeah,
myself
that
at how
one
that one
lined up.
turned out. Yeah, yeah, I'm reading it from an auto cue. That no, I'm not. It's very, the sound of it is very nostalgic in the term of like, it sounds like the original sort of 77 punk and like with a tinge of oi music, but it is definitely class driven and sort of politically driven, lyric wise and topic wise.
Definitely. And so do you think that that's why it's resonated so much with certain audiences?
Yeah, because I do think like any hard times in history has always produced at the end of it good art and strong art, and especially
Definitely.
music.
Hmm.
Like with like the punk movement coming off of the back of the 70s. I think is like, yeah, I do think it is one of those that it is always reflective of how hard times are politically, socio-economically, it when there's good music. I mean, I know there's good music in good times, but I think there's always times aren't always that good. I think there's always something that
Mhm.
we can be rallying against, and there's always someone that's oppressed, and there's always something to fight against, and and punch up towards. So yeah, I think so. I think that's a very yeah, a good parallel.
Yeah, definitely. And so through this journey, as you said, you're still breaking your way into the industry, but like big performances, Reading and Leeds, that's such a huge, huge achievement.
Oh, thank
Uh,
you.
and like, yeah, so congratulations on that because that is like phenomenal. And I think
Thank you.
is there many people in your life who you can give credit to who have helped you get to this point, like who have given you the inspiration that you needed to make those achievements?
My mum and dad have always supported me. I know it's a really again, but like my nan is like my best mate. My nan's always taken me to see anything I've showed a remote interest into, like the theatre, music, sort of art in any respect. So I do owe it to her personally. I know the rest of the band will probably also testament their parents to it. So I think, yeah, I do think a lot of it starts with family and the environment in which our families have created, in a sense of that you can be interested in anything and go and see that. And we might always have the um, economic resources to go and see these things, but there's so much that we can see. Like galleries are free and stuff like that. So I think I definitely testament to my parents and my nan, and I know that everyone else in Rifle would do it to their family as well. So I'm going to shout them out.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, like you said, it's not always, even the things that you wanted to see you might not have had the economic, like, availability to do that. But I think that's what resonates so much then through your music as well. And that's where that, like, comes from so
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
genuinely. And so, like, through your journey, I'm sure that you've probably experienced some people putting you down and probably some hate, especially with the rise of social media. But could you tell us about how you might have, as a band, worked through that to continue to where you are now?
I think that it probably does relate to the answer that I said earlier on, in the thing of like, if you've got your idea and what you want to do, I wouldn't worry about too many other people, because I feel like a lot of the criticisms and the narky comments often come from. I know it sounds like such a playground thing to say, but like green-eyed monsters, I do think a lot of it is people just jealous of the
Mhm.
attention and the success that you receive. But at the end of the day, that'll eat them up. It takes a lot of energy to be that sort of pent up by someone else. So I think it is just a thing of like carrying on to run the race that you're running and just not really pay them too much mind.
Yeah, definitely. And I think again that's something that comes across in your music and in what you portray. And so as I said, probably a lot of that I can imagine comes from social media. So as rising artists, sorry, how have you used social media to enhance your career? And what significance do you think that social media has within trying to break into the industry?
Oh, that's a tough one. That's a very good question though, because I do think in this day and age, I think you really do have to sort of have to sort of yield to social media and be active and be present on it. It's a tough one because I know that a lot of it's essentially marketing, and I know that it's art. Sometimes I feel like the two struggle. I know, like, I know a lot of bands that probably don't want to do it and don't do it and don't want to do that stuff. But I think it is. I think if you have a sort of, if you do want to sort of carry on, it's a necessary evil, I must say. I know it does have its amazing points, and I'm sure that I know that we have probably been given opportunities through people finding us on that and seeing us on that. But I do think it's something, sadly, that you kind of have to keep up with. A lot of it is keeping up with appearances. I feel that a lot of people just want to see that you're busy, or you have to show that you're busy, more importantly. But yeah, I think I would say it's a necessary evil. Yeah,
Definitely, it
sadly.
kind of goes hand in hand with
Mm,
growing, like capacitating you at the same time.
Definitely.
As you like rising through the industry, as you're making your way through, you've obviously got a very specific message in mind that you want to portray. How important was it for you as a band to find people within the industry who were kin to the music that you were looking to produce?
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, I think we do have a very sort of strong identity and a message. You know, it's very class conscious. It's very, it is political. I feel like we have always tried to pride ourselves on being very easy to get along with, and nice people. I'd like to think that we're nice people, and I think that we've been lucky enough that to meet fellow like-minded but nice people that have just sort of wanted to give us a chance, or wanted to sort of, or just really rated the music from a musical point of view. Lyrics aside, subject aside, I feel like most people just sort of like the band or say, "Oh yeah, that sounds good." So I do feel that we're lucky in that respect, but I would also say that we have worked hard to get there and to create a identity and an image and a sound that hopefully resonates with people.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the message that you portray is something that can create a lot of community. So I imagine that
Definitely.
the crowd that you attract to your music is very much already like-minded because of this sense of community that it creates.
Yeah, very much so. I think so. It's like it's one of those as well that we quite like that. For example, when we went on tour with the Chats, we were playing to like massive venues full of sort of younger kids, and I love that. But I also do really like playing to sort of like the nostalgia crowd of slightly, people like my dad's age who are
Mhm.
probably there for the first wave of punk, and it's like it sort of brings out that nostalgia in them. So I think it's nice to have a bit of a Venn diagram of an audience.
Yeah, definitely. So music aside, what do you and the rest of the lads in the band, what do you get up to in your free time?
Oh, go to the pub. I think that's sorry, that's a bit of a
Classic
boring
answer
one. Isn't
though,
it?
you can't beat
Yeah, go
it.
to the pub. Yeah.
So, what would you say to any young people watching, any students watching that are looking to break into the industry the same way that you guys are, and maybe one day see themselves doing what you're doing, performing at Reading and Leeds and making these big achievements? What advice could you give to them?
Oh, blimey. Just do what you want. Don't worry about what's hot and what's not. Don't worry about trends. Don't worry about all of that rubbish. Just do what you want to do. And I think that, successful I can't say how successful follow like I'm Bill Gates or something. But like I do think I'm a firm believer in that if you have to back it more than anyone else will, otherwise no one will. And I feel like there's,
Mhm.
there is a lot of that, I think. A lot of people sort of holding their finger to the wind, being like, this is what everyone's doing now. This is quite cool. This is what everyone seems to like. But don't worry about that. Do what you like. Find what you like and do that.
Yeah, because people definitely recognize authenticity, and I think that's really important. And so, what would you say on your journey so far has been your biggest challenge?
I think it's really hard to sometimes just be five boys that have all got jobs and lives and try to make try to make something of it. It's hard enough to sort of get five people in the same place at the same time, as well as, people not liking it or having something to say. But yeah, I do think that that's a point of it as well. It's like, and also having to, sometimes you have to, what's the word I'm looking for? You got to give stuff up that you might not necessarily want to. And I think that you have to do that if you're really serious about it.
Definitely. And so we've touched already on the fact that next year, the upcoming year, you've got an album coming out in January. So congratulations
Yeah.
on that one.
Thank you. That's very kind.
Um, but is there anything else in the meantime that we can be expecting from Rifle?
Yeah. Yeah. No, nothing really until then. And then when that is out, then I'm sure that other stuff will come along. I'm trying to be as elusive as I can with those things.
Be secretive. Keep us
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
edge.
Yeah. That's it. Got to keep you on your toes. Yeah. That's it.
Well, it's been such a great chat with you today, Max. I've really enjoyed it. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I'm really looking forward to hearing the album in January. So we'll keep on the
Oh,
lookout
thank
for
you.
that.
Thanks so much
Um,
for having us.
no, of course, it's been an absolute pleasure. And thank you, everyone else, for joining us today. We'll catch you next time and have a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
Cheers.
Christmas.
See you
See you
later.
later.